So for the measurements, like I said, I'm sewing for a 1-year-old. So the chest we are working with is 4.5 inches. The chest round is 19 inches. The half length is 7.5, and the half length round is 20 inches. The shoulder measurement is 9, and the length of the dress is 20. So we're going to also add the armhole. The armhole I'm working with here now will be 4.5, which is basically the same as the shoulder. The neck width, I will use 2.5 for the width. So 2.5 width, the same for the back. So if your width in front is 2.5, the back width also has to be 2.5 because they need to align. Now for the depth, it can be different. So for this class, we are using 2.5 for the front, and then for the back we are using 5 inches. So the neck will be a bit high in the front and then a little deep at the back. So like I said, the size chart I have has all of these measurements, the armhole included, and the neck depth and the neck width. So for the drafting now, remember we measured 7.5 as the half length, so we're going to add 1 inch to that 7.5, which will give us 8.5, and that is what we are going to mark here now. So the extra 1 inch now, we are going to use half to join the shoulder, and then we'll use the other half to join to the lower part of the dress. So here now I am marking 8.5 all the way, and then using my ruler now, I will connect the 8.5 together to give us the length. Now for the width, we are going to divide the waist measurement. The waist measurement is bigger, 20, so we'll divide that by 4, which will give us 5 inches. So that 5 inches, we're adding another 2 inches to it for allowance, and that is what we are going to mark as the width of the dress. Now this we are marking now is the front piece. We are marking the front piece. So from the top now, I'm still trying to confirm the 8.5 as you can see, and then we will draw a line. Now that we have gotten the length, next thing we are going to mark the shoulder. So the shoulder measurement we got there was 9 inches. So divide 9 inches into 2, that is going to give us 4.5. So we're going to mark exactly 4.5. So you come down a bit and mark 4.5 again, so that you will get a straight line. Next you mark the armhole, which is 4.5 from the top. So using my ruler now, I'm going to extend this line, which is what you should do as well. So I'm checking again to be sure that I have 4.5 from the middle, from the center front. Now from the top, connect both lines together like so. Next is time to slant the shoulder. So from the center front, go in by 2 inches. So for kids you use 2 inches, for adults it's usually 3 inches, which is the neck width. Now on the armhole line, come down by ½ inch, and then connect both points together to form the shoulder slope. Now measure the armhole, the remaining part of the armhole now, and get the midpoint. So we have 4, half of 4 is 2, so we're marking 2 inches. Then from that point, come in by ½ inch like so. Then connect that ½ inch point back to the shoulder line. Now from this ½ inch, you're going to connect back to the armhole, back to the armhole line. You can use a curve, you can use your free hand. Just make sure your curve is looking exactly as mine is looking. Next, I am marking the neck width, which is 2.5 inches. So mark 2.5 inches in, and then place your tape at the top and mark 2.5 inches down, and go in again with 2.5 inch. Next, use a ruler and connect all the points together. Now go in again and make a curve, and this is your front neckline. Next, we are going to mark the round measurement. So at this chest line, we're going to mark 5.5 inches in, which is 20 inches divided by 4 plus another half inch for ease. So after marking the 5.5, we are marking another 1 inch. This 1 inch now is going to serve as the seam allowance. The seam allowance can be 2 inches, but the smaller the better. It makes a better fit. So on this waistline now, we are marking the same thing, 5.5, and then we're marking another 1 inch for seam allowance. So the waist measurement is 20, the chest measurement however is 19, but because the waist measurement is bigger, we're just using the waist measurement for the chest as well. So sometimes when the waist is the chest is bigger, we use the chest for both the chest and the waist, and then use the belt to make it fit better on the child. So now it's time to cut. I wrote CF on the front just to know which part is the center front, so you don't get confused when it's time to cut. So I cut the shoulder slants. Now I'm cutting the armhole. Also, there's no dots on this pattern because for kids there's really no need for that. Some people still add that, but it's very optional. They don't have any shape per se. Like for this kid now, for example, the waist measurement is even bigger than the chest. So adding that really does not add any value to the outfit. So this is it for the front pattern. Next we are going to mark the back. Checking one more time. It's always good to cross check. There's nothing wrong with that, as many times as you want. So for the back now, we're going to mark the half length again, which is 7.5 plus extra 1 inch for allowance. So we're marking 8.5 for the length. And then for the width, we measured 5 inches and then we added extra 2 for the width. So for this back, we're going to add extra, that's 7, we're going to add extra 1.5. So exactly the width of the front plus another 1.5 inch for zip allowance. After marking the length, the next thing we're going to mark is the zip allowance, that 1.5 inch that I mentioned. And from this center point rather, this is the center back, 1.5 inch. I come down a bit and mark 1.5 again. This is just so that our line is straight, just to make sure you have a straight line. So I come down and mark it again, then using my ruler I connect the 3 points together. That way I get a perfect straight line. Now all our measurements are going to start from this new line now. So from there we're going to mark the shoulder, 4.5. So I'll place 4.5 on that line, and then I'll come down a bit and do the same thing, 4.5, and mark. Then I'll go on and mark the armhole, which is also 4.5. Then I will extend it with a ruler. I'm connecting the armhole line like so. Then I will extend it again to the side. So from this line again, we are going to mark 2 inches for the shoulder slope. So 2 inches, then on the armhole line, half inch. Then from here now, we are going to mark to connect the 2 points together to form the shoulder slope. Next now, just like we did on the front, we are going to get the middle of this armhole, which is 2 inches. And then from there, come in by half inch. And then connect back to the shoulder line. And then curve the remaining part to the armhole line. So like I said, you can either use your curve or just use your hand. Also for this bag, in order to make sure that both the front and the back armhole are the same, I'm going to place the front piece on it and then try to see if I have the same curve, which is quite important because you might encounter problems when joining later on. So you can see our curve is exactly the same, so we are good to go. If it's not, you may have to adjust it so that the both are the same. Next now, from the zip line again, we are going to mark 5.5 inches, which is 20 inches divided by 4 plus half inch of ease. Then for the seam allowance, we are going to mark 1 inch here. Then on the waistline, we are marking 5.5 again. But then for the seam allowance, we are going to mark 1.5 inch, and you will see why. So we are going to take out half inch at the center back. So this half inch is going to replace it so we don't fall short of our seam allowance later on. So now to this center back, we are going to mark half inch in. And then from the shoulder, we will mark 4.5, which is the chest line, and then connect both points in a slant like so. This is to give the back a bit of shape and also eliminate any type of bulge that the zip might cause. So next now we're marking the neckline. From that zip allowance line, I'm going to mark 2.5. So mark 2.5 inches from the zip line, and then you come down and do the same thing. For the neck depth, mark 5 inches like so. You can even make it more. You can mark 6 if you want the back to be really deep. So I'm going to be marking a v-neck. The back is going to be a v-neck. So in here I'm marking 2.5 again. From the neckline now, we're going to connect to that 5 inches like so. Okay. So this is a V neckline. We're also going to slant it out to the side. You can also have a U neck, or let's even say at the back, a U neck at the back instead of a V, depending on what you want. For the purpose of this class, I am making use of a V neck. But if you want a U neck, then you can extend the 2.5 and connect like so, then curve. So instead of a straight slant, you make a curve like so, and you're good to go. So this is the center back. I am labeling it so that we don't get confused later on. So now starting with this slant at the back, we're cutting that out, and then I went ahead to check one more time. It's always good to cross check. Nothing wrong with that. As many times as possible. You don't know when cross checking can save you a huge mistake. So I'm cutting the shoulder slope now. And this shoulder slope is so that the dress is relaxed on the shoulder. No, our shoulders are not flat, they're not straight, they slant. So this slant kind of helps the shoulder part fit perfectly. Now we're cutting out the neckline. We'll cut this way and then out like so. So this is it for the back piece. Like I said, if you want a curved neck, then you cut that curve. But if you want a V-neck, we're good to go. So this is the back and this is the front pattern. So next is time to place this on our fabrics and then cut.